I'm Christina Lopez-Aducci, and welcome back to At Home with House of Puff. I'm excited today to give you the tea on cannabis concentrates for beginners. Concentrates are big these days. Their high potency can be especially good for managing chronic pain, but they're also great for making edibles and for travel. For instance, cannabis concentrates are what make our incredible cannabis brownies and our amazing cannabis gummies so good. Their high potency gets the dosage right with minimal weed taste. But we know that concentrates can also be intimidating compared to flower or store-bought edibles, so let me break it down for you. First, let's talk about the cannabis concentrate that you're most likely to be familiar with. That's cannabis oil, like these. They're also called tinctures, oral solutions, or sublinguals. That's because you can consume them just by putting some under your tongue. The membranes under your tongue allow the cannabinoids to pass directly into your bloodstream instead of having to go all the way through your digestive tract. Because of that, they have a faster onset than edibles. You won't feel them as fast as inhalation, but often within 30 minutes or so. Just to be clear, sublinguals are usually made with liquid coconut oil that's infused with cannabis. MCT oil is a great vehicle because the cannabinoids are fat soluble, so fat is essential to dissolve cannabinoids in order for them to become bioavailable. Cannabis oil also comes in different mixtures. That means you can tailor what you consume to your needs, just like you do with specific strains of flower. But we've found that there are two other wonderful benefits to cannabis oils. First, they're much more compact, discreet, and shelf-stable than other forms. So they're great to travel with because that's helpful if you're on the road for a while or somewhere hot. Plus, their odor is easy to contain than most other forms. Second, they're great for making edibles. Since they're so potent, you can use a lot less in your recipes. That means you'll taste less weed and more of the food flavors. Case in point, we find they're indispensable for making effective but great tasting gummies. If you want your mind completely blown, check out our video that shows how incredibly easy it is to make cannabis gummies using cannabis oil. Up next, here are several concentrates you might be less familiar with, but we use them to make all other kinds of edibles. They're great to use if you don't have access to store-bought cannabis butter or time to make your own. Cannabis concentrates are great to have in your cupboard as a staple to put in any edible. A lot of people don't think of it this way, but cannabis is produce, so you can't always get the exact same kind at your local dispensary. In that case, it's super helpful to be able to substitute different forms. Plus, the key with edibles, of course, is to get a potent and tasty treat. To do that using a concentrate, just melt a little into heated butter or oil that you're using for your recipe. The melting part is important for your dosing. By heating both and stirring thoroughly, you'll make sure that the cannabis is evenly distributed throughout whatever you're making. This one right here, this is cannabis butter. It also can be badder or batter. There's a difference. The name comes from its texture. It's more like butter or frosting than other concentrates. The color can vary from olive green to a buttery gold. And here's a pro tip. The closer the color is to bright yellow, the higher the quality. This is cannabis resin, better known as hash. But today's hash isn't necessarily what it used to be, and that's a good thing. Concentrates are often processed using flammable solvents like butane and propane. Needless to say, those aren't the things you want to be ingesting. Unfortunately, it's relatively inexpensive to produce concentrates with those types of harsh chemicals. But today, due to new technology, you can get solventless concentrates. You'll also see solventless resin referred to as water or bubble hash, and that's why we only buy legal cannabis. That way we know exactly how it's been processed. This is CRUMBLE. It gets its name from its texture. It falls apart or crumbles when you handle it because it has a soft, dry texture. For this concentrate, both the texture and color are important. If it's stored incorrectly, CRUMBLE can harden or darken over time, so watch out for that. Our final concentrate is something we use much more for pain relief. This is live resin sugar. Because of its consistency, this is a concentrate you can easily sprinkle into a joint to significantly boost its potency. Resin sugar is drier than other concentrates, thus the name sugar. If you're dealing with serious pain, you can use it to get a lot more relief with a lot less smoking. But like other concentrates, it's extremely potent. So we only suggest using it if you know you have the tolerance for a very high dose. And as always, start as low as possible and go slow. The moral of the story, though, is that concentrates don't have to be just for high potency consumption. A little bit can go a long way, and that can be just the ticket for when you're traveling or in the kitchen. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We love hearing from you, and we'll see you next time on At Home with House of Puff.